And we're here for the 89th Gold Strategy Workshop in the IWAR Network. I'm Matt Riley. That's Mike Cook. We're going to walk you through the option choices for the March.
Yep.
March. Oh my God, March already. March cycle of action in the IWA. And as usual, there's lots of options to choose from. An easy
Not as
cycle.
many. Yeah,
Nothing
not as
worse.
many.
Last cycle was, I always can, like when I'm doing events, I can always feel how bad the cycle is by how many horrible scores there are. And like there were a lot of tough like 1 point wins. There might be the most 1 point decisions ever in the John B. Cup, but
Yeah, there was a couple of 501s, but the fact that there was literally one league title that was a 500, that was it.
yeah,
that's an overall tough cycle.
yeah. So we're back at it, and we have your questions here. The first question was, does the IWA take bribes?
No.
No, no, no. The first question was about what was the drop the cycle you won the world championship? I'm sure Mike has lots of answers. I have one, which is it was 2014 in August or dog days, and I don't remember what the drop
The
was.
drop, or you said the flow, right? Which
Well,
one was it?
the
I thought
drop.
we were talking about that a minute ago. The drop. Okay, I couldn't tell you that. Yeah, that's.
I mean, it's not.
I don't remember what it was. Let's see. 2 cycles ago, I won, right?
Yeah,
I won on 27, 26 then.
there you go. I would guess 28, 26 with Lucha back then because they played that a lot. When I had a lot of success with the Von Schnaps and Lucha, I was running 28s, 28, 26 type combos. Uh, but that was a long time ago, and I'm pretty sure that if I knew what it was, I would be like, aha! And then,
Yeah, it's not something I've ever thought to try to remember or mark down.
yeah.
Doesn't look impressed.
Hey, my one of my good friends, I love a dog that I take care of when they travel, and he's coming tomorrow, so she's gonna be real pissed off.
Mm.
What the dude? Anyways, um, another question was 41s and 42s, and we had two good reasons to take it. Your reason was,
Well, the first one, this is the cycle where you get 4 stars instead of one. I have 12 wrestlers in still. I just got 11 out of 12 with a star, and I want to do that again.
that's pretty
That's
good. That's a lot of stars.
yeah,
And
makes the records look really good, really quick.
yeah, and of course, remember,
So,
if you have 50 stars, you can qualify for the Hall of Fame.
yeah.
There's those big records overall, which one of the few areas I'm even in the top, I guess, 30 would be my guy Atari. So, be nice to add some stats. The other side of the coin is this: if you're in the IWAR and you're competing in the Johnny B Cup or Lethal Lottery tournament or some other events, a high score will help you. So I suggest playing 41s to take the points and benefit from that, as it were. And who knows? Of course, maybe it's me 42s and that 24, 25 spring drop.
Yep.
Johnny B's like, F you. No, Johnny B, why? He just pulled a Cena. Uh, so here we are. Take us away, and I'll try to remember what kind of Patriots player has an 89 jersey. That can be easy.
All right. So we have a pretty good amount taken off. So this is the cycle where we get 25 going to 29. That takes away 6 drops. 90 is a 45 going to 44. Or wait, 44 going to 45.
90s at 44.
Yeah. So that takes away half the back. So real quick, when we go over these, you'll see that we're already down to 72 possible combinations right now. I don't recall what we were last cycle. I feel like we left it above 100 at the end of the workshop, though.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh.
we got still taking away 29 28s. Trying to, something's going on here. My computer's.
Uh-oh.
There you go. Yeah, something was happening.
Oh, I just realized I don't think it's recorded. Oh, no.
Oh, really? That's
Oh,
funny.
it is. I'm kidding. It is recording.
Okay.
The icon moved. I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell?
Yeah, I was about to say I don't see it, but I see it up in the corner now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So 29-28 was off with still. The last cycle's gold takes away 29-26. 2 cycles ago, when I won world, 27-26. And then iron in the 3 ago, they overlapped.
Also, the combination I used to win the world title in 2014. I
Everybody
don't,
remembers
I don't
that.
know. If someone out there wants to find out, that'd be great. I do not do the homework.
All right. And then, like I said, we got 25 in these two.
Hmm.
So half of 29-27's out, which means we have all four 28-27s, two 29-27s, and then all three double drops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's kind of scary, but it's almost half of our options are double drops.
Yeah. That's
It kind of lines up to be a cycle where one of those could be, what we have.
could be.
But the issue is which one? Don't know. They're about all the same. We know 28s have gone ridiculously long times,
Hmm.
almost 2 years in between each time. So you go all in on that, you could be in trouble.
Yeah.
Um, Same thing, 26s. If we go over here, 26s seem like it could actually be reasonable soon. You see 8, 8, 11, and we're on 10 right now.
Mm.
That's 14. That's what it was before. 21. Okay. It used to be a little longer in between, but again, we've talked about the last year. They became a little more consistent on double drops. So
Right.
you probably will see 26s in the next couple cycles. Don't know if I would recommend taking it though, because what you will notice in a 29-27, 28-27, 27s, and 28, the only one that's not in any other one is 26s. So
Right.
it could be one of those things where if you pick 26 and it hits, you're probably well above everyone else. If you miss, though, it will be one of your worst cycles you'll have
Yeah.
probably. So
Painful.
that's your gamble with 26s.
Yep.
Um, 27 is probably the least likely based on when it happened last, which was last cycle of last year, I believe.
Hmm.
Really close, if not. 5 cycles ago, we had a 27-27. I think we had a couple overall last year as well, right? 27s. Yeah, we had two last year.
Mm.
We had two 27-27, two 26s, one 28-28. So 27s, if you were taking it, it's at least in all these drops up here. So you're probably going to miss one hold um, if it missed. But again, it's happened so recent, you're probably going on a bit of a stretch there. But
Yeah.
it's at least a safer option than the 26s just because
Yeah, the 8 and 12, sure.
6 out of the 9 possible, 7 counting that one, would have a 27 dropping
Yeah.
in it. So 28s,
Okay.
like I said, 53, 59, 28s, 19 cycles ago. I wouldn't recommend using it because you could be chasing it all year.
Yeah.
So you're you're within the realm of being able to pick one of these, but I think all of them are still a bit of a stretch. I would focus on either 28-27 or 29-27. So out of those
Yeah.
six is what I would work on, and probably try to narrow it down to just two of the six there.
Oof. There it is.
Uh, so we got the green ones have a 25 from 2 cycles ago.
Hmm.
We talked about. I got to make the screen smaller to even get over there because it's got a frozen screen. There we go. I'll answer it again in a minute.
I know.
Um,
How dare you?
So we've had three in a row where a 25 from 2 cycles ago hadn't went back up. I just want to point out that in the nearly 5 years that we tracked that for this workshop,
Mm-hmm.
it's never went beyond three. There's two instances where it got up to three, but it never went to four. So, not saying it's a guarantee, but
Huh.
playing the odds like we do,
Right.
I would lean towards it being one of those, which doesn't eliminate much, really. We were talking about six options between 29, 28, 27. It's four of the six still, but I do think this is a cycle where if you're stuck, lean towards using one of those that's 46 or 59 in yours.
There you go.
So I think I like one of these two more than the double drops.
You
And
heard
then
it
I
here
like
first,
this
folks.
little section here.
26s.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if somebody takes it, somebody's brave enough or they have enough wrestlers, it could hit big, but I just don't like that risk.
There it is. All right.
So that's kind of the fronts. It's not really bad at all this cycle. It's yeah. Do you
The
want to do a double
humbug.
drop? If not, do you risk this being, based on probability that it's going to hit again? 25 from 2 cycles ago, and then you're kind of there on the front. All right, the back. So, like we said, this is a cycle where whether you think a 41 or 42 hits, you may want to play it safe for contest and for the fact that you're going to get a 42 or a 43 at worst case. You might get the 44 if it hits, but you should get a 42 and a 43,
Right.
which gives you a lot more leeway on missing off the front. You'd have to miss really bad, like they'd have to take, and you miss a 30, to even have a chance. But a lot of the times, the difference in whether you start or not is that hold right there, and that's a
Yeah.
safe way to get right at that 45 or 495 level.
Yeah.
Um,
Get those
so
stars.
if you care about those stars, I would recommend trying to just use the 41. Um, Now, as I say that though, I will say,
Oh.
a lot of these you see, like I said, it kind of clusters and averages out over time. We're looking at, five of the last seven was a 41. And you see every other time recently, when there's a gap in between when the 42s hit, it goes right back to 42s. So
Right.
I think if you want that 501, I would probably say a 42.
Yeah.
But you got to know that you're risking the difference in a 44 or 41, most likely.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at
So
it like just
that's
points
your risk.
wise, you're locked in with probably a guaranteed 45 with 90, a
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed 43 or a good shot at 43 with a 41, and then 44 and 43. So you're really trying to nail that last one, which of
Yep.
course is 62 and 67. Ugh. Yuck. I mean, those are great.
Yeah. So 90 would be here. It's going
Right.
to 45. You don't use 66.
Mm-mm.
Um, talking about point flow is 63, 73. It's a tough one, but you see we're pretty consistent outside of one stretch
Yeah.
that they haven't been letting it go past the three.
Yeah.
We know that it's going to be more common next cycle when 90's a 45 that it goes to 44. So if they don't flip these this time to where the one that was a previous 44 goes to 43, then it'll go to five in a row most likely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think you can play at 63, 73, but I think it's probably the time to flip them to try to get your point flow. But I could easily see it being the other way too.
Yeah.
But I'll probably play it this way.
What could go wrong? Oh
Yeah,
no.
nothing. You don't lose any points there. That's just that's mainly the report thing. You got to get
Yeah.
those two right to actually have a chance at the report. Um, so yeah, it's he said for hole 13. These are going to be your
Oh.
safer ones to get a point or two back.
Hmm.
I think if you're going for that 501 though, it's going to be one of these two, most likely, and it's going to be tough to pick. But yeah, you're looking at a bigger variance between probably a 3 point swing on your strats. So get it right
Yeah.
if you're going to pick one of those.
Yeesh.
But yeah, and then yeah, you got to pick 62 and 67, and that's probably we talk about the risk between the 42 41, but again, you're looking here at maybe this will be a 3 to 4 point swing, whether you get it wrong or right.
Right.
Um, that's that's a tough one, but let's actually look at them and see if we 62, 67. So 67,
Mm.
it's kind of all alone there. It's not done much, has it?
62 is
Looks
good
like
for a
right
bit.
there. Yeah, that's a tough one. Another one like that's had a good stretch, but the back doesn't. You're not guaranteed, to have some of the stretches we see on holds up here. Like none of them are really that good anymore. 12s has been pretty good, but it's less common for one to go too long down here. Uh, yeah, I don't know what to recommend on that. That's probably one where with six wrestlers,
Hmm.
I'll use 3 and 3 and hope that I get the front right and don't lose a star off of that. But yeah, I'll have trouble picking one of those.
You are on a hot streak, so
Done well, but not well enough. Just lost, still fed with my 501.
damn you,
But
Jake.
maybe I can make it up this one, get it in gold again.
Oh,
But yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's not that many options. Like I said, just lock in on one of these, or if you're really brave, you got all three double drops in play. So
there it is. I mean,
like I said, I tend to do worse when I try to use a double drop, so I tend to not use them unless it's clearly something that looks like it has to go.
yeah.
And even then, it's usually you just set yourself up like Diamond 28s haven't went in 3 years now, 4 years almost, and yeah, it's best to just stay away in my opinion. But other people have success off of them, so more power.
I'm just noticing that in the back end, the most recent there in the bottom part of the screen, the 42, 44-2, 43-1, that
Right here,
repeated.
yeah.
Because I started doing a cookie chart where I was tracking
Mhm.
the drops for the back five because I'm a super nerd. And I was noticing most of the time they didn't repeat more than like, I think it was like 6, 7 cycles. So that would be a repeat drop of 43, 44-2, 43-1,
Well,
41-1.
44-2 can't go because 90 is a 44-1.
Right.
So we know that that's 44-1.
Yep.
So the real question is, does the 43-1 repeat with it, or does
Mm.
it go 2?
Bum,
Um,
bum.
now you had it right here where it flipped both, but
Yeah.
it's less common that it flips both if you really look. Here's one. Here's one.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty good. I am, got it down pretty well. So the important question here is, were you shocked by the John Cena heel turn?
No, I don't know. It just didn't seem like that big of a deal to me. I don't like. I guess I'm confused. What benefit would you get out of turning on someone now when you already have the match with them? If you did it during the match, isn't that more significant?
Yeah.
Like Hogan's turn was during the match.
Yeah.
And so I just don't get like it's like you reveal your master plan a month before, the actual event.
Yeah. I
Like
think they
what do you
wanted to,
gain out of that?
I
I
think
know
they
they
wanted,
wanted it for the build, but
right.
it just to me seems like you just gave away your entire plan and now you'll
Yeah.
be
I
defeated.
was wondering because they made this all this stink about like, well, like when Hogan did it, he was the third man. It was like that was a pivotal part of it. Like
Mm.
I always ranked Barry Windham's heel turn as one of my favorites because I hadn't watched wrestling in a few weeks, so I missed the whole like the little hint and teasers, which I don't think you should do. Like have it be a stunning like like he turned on Lex Luger in a world tag title match as the champs and gave up the belts to join the Horsemen, and he was a long time good guy, so it was like, oh, what the hell, Barry. Um, Hogan when he turned was, he was coming out to save Savage. And he drops the leg on him. And it was like, oh my God. And then it was like, you're the guy. Um,
I see
we were,
on my wall I've got the ring filled with the trash. It's a big 16 by 20 signed by Nash, Hall, and Hogan. It's on the wall. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, it's like the only turn I can think of that really stands out to me besides those three is my like, Barry Windham's 80s was when Rollins turned on the Shield. That was a surprise. And I always think of like the motivation. Now, for instance, this whole thing with Cena, if it's a thing that Hogan got him, like I'm sorry, Hogan, The Rock helped like grease his way to the Elimination Chamber, and the deal was if you win, you owe me, and
mhm.
like that's like the quid. I mean, I assume that's tomorrow night. We'll see SmackDown. We'll hear from Cena maybe or whatever. Um, and like the justification, like Barry Windham's justification was he was tired of carrying Luger. He felt like he was doing a one-man show. Luger was self-absorbed, whatever. He hated him. He had a chance to have an opportunities he wasn't getting. Like he wasn't getting the U.S. tag or U.S. title shots. Um, Rollins, when he turned, he wanted to be the star. Like he wanted to come out and be like the Justin Timberlake or the John Lennon, Paul McCartney of the group.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think of other turns that were really of note. Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty, but it's kind of
I
because
always
it
think,
would have to be for these. It would have to be in the category of, like you said, it was just instant, like no build up or anything.
yeah. I mean, I always feel like when they do that, like that teaser, like oh, good, it's like you can put that in there, but like don't tease it all like every week, like oh dissension in the ranks. I know the one that was good was when Michaels turned on Jannetty.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had that had many levels to
the
it. It had
window. Yeah, that
they
was
were
good.
partners. He wanted to be a single star. He couldn't be a single star with Jannetty there. And then he's like, "We're in it. The Rockers are back together. Super kick." Um, when I was doing the show years ago, my friend Jay, we had that in like the show, like there's like little clips. One of the clips was like, "Oh my God, he went through the barbershop window." Um, I'm just trying to think of any other good, like super good turns that weren't. I feel like Edge turned so many times it kind of lost luster. Same thing with like Big Show. Like when someone turns too many times, you're like, eh. Um, like wasn't it Don Callis turning on Kenny Omega? Well, he was already a bad guy, so
Right. Yeah.
um,
I
I-
guess. I mean, when Kenny used Don to win the title, though, that was a good turn. That
yeah,
was a solid year.
that was true, and that was to push a good, the multi-champion thing. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think of other possible. I know the whole Adam Cole Max thing was just a freaking
That
mess.
became a disaster.
What
Yeah.
what a mess, and I still say Adam Cole's. If anyone else, I like, dude, hire a trainer. Like every match I see him in, I get flashbacks to the '80s when like Greg Gagne wrestled. It's like Come on, man. And then, like we were talking at work about, like Eddie Kingston put a picture up on Instagram, and it was a Bruiser Brody. When you first looked, you're like, "Oh my God, Eddie got huge." And it's like, "Oh, it's Bruiser Brody."
Yeah.
I mean, I'd love to see Eddie come back and like be like in the best shape of his career, because I always think two things. One, aesthetically, it looks better. Like, it's like, you look at Luka Doncic and like, oh, they traded him, and they say, well, he was out of shape and he couldn't play defense and he's an alcoholic and all this stuff. Like, whatever. For wrestling, it's just about your look. And I like guys that have different looks, absolutely. But when the guy looks like the guy who runs the bodega, I can't take him as seriously. Or if the guy looks like he's like the lead, the bassist for Metallica now. I don't know. But it's all part of the process. And I enjoy the shows. I've started watching. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown really all that much anymore. I just but I'll check it out here and
Yeah.
there, like clips of it.
Yeah. I watch monthly events to stay up with WWE.
Yeah, like I have friends who are like, hey, WrestleMania, when is it? Like Royal Rumble. We had a poker night, so we all got together and playing games. And my friend had this big TV in the background with the Rumble playing. And it's funny because like, some of the guys at the table who haven't watched in a while are like, Rey Mysterio or like, whoever comes out, they're like, who is that? Like, wait, is that guy from the past? I will say, I think my favorite part, side note, about the John Cena turn was Zack Ryder put that post out with John Cena kissing Maria. I think it was Maria.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, oh, it's remember when they had the angle years ago and Zack Ryder was feuding with Kane and Kane like pushed him off the stage in the wheelchair.
Mhm.
And then Kane tried to kidnap, I think it was Maria. I can't think of her last name. Anyways, long black hair, Italianish, whatever. And Cena like rips
Maria
open the door.
Kanellis or somebody else?
Not Canellis, it was somebody else.
There was another Maria.
I'm pretty
Okay,
sure
I
it was
don't
a
remember
Maria.
that.
One of the guys is gonna be like typing in like, what was this? Um, but Cena pulls open the doors, pulls her out, and she was the love interest of Zack Ryder at the time. And they start kissing, and then the camera just pans over slowly to Zack like in the wheelchair with the flowers, like he had gotten her, like, what's going on? It was such perfect. Like that was a great comedic timing right there. Man. I thought another turn when Daniel Bryan turned on the Wyatt family. It was quick, but it was still pretty well done.
I didn't watch it that time, so I have no idea what that was.
There was a whole thing where like they kind of like indoctrinated him into the cult, and he was like part of it, and then he did it all as a setup to get inside and like turn on him. And it was like, oh, yeah, that's cool, whatever. But anyways, I think we're pretty good for the show.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, we
Yeah,
got
we're set up for a good one.
yeah, I
So
mean, hopefully, I always feel like when I have a down cycle, I come back with a strong cycle because I just haven't been able to really consistent for a long time. So I'm trying to get
yeah,
back in the
I
rhythm of
mean,
it.
like I said, they kind of have it set up that way that with the way the 25s go and with the 25 hold, not just 25s, but
Hmm.
that and hold 90, like you do get a little bit of a break every other cycle, and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you get a little more of a break when it eliminates ones that have four drops versus leaving you the doubles. So yeah, you get a pretty small potential option list. So it's nice.
All right.
Um, don't overthink it. Just go with the one that you think looks right, and
When all else fails,
it'll
flip
be
the coin.
yeah. I mean, it's literally if you flipped a coin here, flipped one here, and then flipped one here, and then flipped one here. Four coin flips, you could have this filled out.
By the way,
That's
I
it.
really want you to make one of the tabs on the bottom say "My cook's secret recipe for a 501."
That's
Just
what this
never
says. It
show it.
says
Just always leave it there.
strat
Like, oh my
pick.
God.
Like right there, that says strat pick.
Yeah.
That's how I pick my strats right there.
Nice. There it is. All right. Well, thank you once again. We will hopefully have a good cycle. Cross fingers and so forth. Um, if you have questions, as always, post them, send them to us. We're happy to answer. And good luck on Tuesday. Don't forget to get that stuff in on time. Trash talk if you can. I got a lot of work to crank out the rest of my report. So hopefully it won't be too bad.
Yeah.
Oop, there it is. All right.
All
Thanks again, Mike. I will see you in about 3 weeks.
right.
All right.
See you
Thanks,
then.
man.
Bye.
Bye.